A very good morning to you. Watching the Channel M Breakfast Show on Friday, the 30th of January. I'm Nikki Dean.
And I'm Byron Evans. Or Byron.
The French version of Byron Evans.
Indeed, it's the riots in Paris and stuff get me all excited first thing this morning. Front page of the Manchester Evening News also got me excited as her mighty Madge is coming to Manchester for the first time in 5 years. She's going to be appearing at the MEN Arena, isn't she, Nikki?
She certainly is. Just been announced. Tickets are going to... Oh, what was that? How dare you? The cameraman's feeling a bit frisky today. Tickets are going to go on sale next Friday. Further details available from citylife.co.uk, which is actually going to be at the Manchester Evening News Arena on July the 7th. Tickets aren't cheap, though. They're going to cost you between 65, that's the cheapest seat in the house, to 175 quid. But nonetheless, if you're a fan of Madge, you want to move quickly because they're not going to stick around for long, let me tell you.
And, of course, it's been 25 years since the Material Girl played at the Hacienda in Manchester, the legendary nightclub in the city centre, and I bet she's an absolute nightmare to keep sweet.
Oh, can you imagine the dressing room? In fact, actually, talking of dressing rooms, I'm just getting confirmation in my ear that our showbiz reporter, Shay and Stephen, have unearthed some footage of a rather interesting dressing room.
Really?
Mind boggles.
We're outside Byron's dressing room, let's go and have a look. I'm excited. Got a calendar of himself, it's not even me. Oh, no way. Look at that. He's got a shrine to himself. Oh! That's Nicky. That's well bad.
That was brilliant.
God, I can't believe he's got all these pictures. I think I can hear him coming. Quick, let's get in the cupboard.
I'm too sexy for my love, too sexy for my love, love's going to leave.
How embarrassing.
I don't smell.
No,
Why are you saying I smell?
Caught in the act, a little bit bitter. In a few minutes, the latest sports headlines, plus Friday at the Flicks. But first, let's get the latest news bulletin with James Webster.
Can't believe you think of that.
Good morning. Here are Friday's main headlines for you so far. What's believed to be the first exercise classes for children as young as 1 in the country are being offered here in Greater Manchester. Youngsters in Stockport are encouraged to dance, do stretches and jump around for the sessions. They're designed to reduce obesity, with statistics showing a quarter of 4-year-olds and a third of 11-year-olds around here are too fat. Police have bailed 4 men they've been questioning over the death of promising young footballer Halton McCollin. The 20-year-old was shot dead at a takeaway in Stretford almost exactly a year ago. The suspects, who are in their 20s and 30s, have been questioned on suspicion of conspiracy to murder. They'll report back to police again in April. Health bosses are reportedly investigating how mental health patients managed to escape from a hospital ward here in Manchester 4 times in 4 weeks. Their friends and relatives have spoken of their concern about security at the Oxford ward at the city's Royal Infirmary. Some people stay there voluntarily while others are sectioned. The Lib Dems have won the Didsbury West Council by-election. Leanne Williams got more than 55% of the vote, with a majority of 801. There was more than a 3% swing from Labour and a 6% swing from the Tories. Party bosses say if that was repeated at a general election, nationally the Lib Dems would get an extra 33 MPs. A shop's been robbed in Timperley by 4 men brandishing a crowbar. They told staff and customers to get on the floor at the Co-op on Stockport Road on Tuesday evening. 2 jumped over the counter and stole cigarettes and alcohol, as well as cash from the tills and a handbag and phone from one of the shoppers. Honda staff in Swindon will make their final cars for 4 months later. The plant there is about to begin a temporary shutdown because of a slump in sales. Workers will get their full wage for the first 2 months, which will then be reduced to 60% for the rest of the closure. A group of cheerleaders have danced their way into an Ashton primary school to celebrate a special sporting occasion. The dancers from the Miami Dolphins American football team are showing off their skills ahead of Sunday's Super Bowl final.
Let's get ready to rumble. Let's get ready, let's get ready, let's get ready to rumble. Watch us wreck the mic, watch us wreck the mic, watch us wreck the mic. Psych.
We've been dancing with the Miami Dolphins and we've been learning some moves. elementary school, and we're teaching some of the kids some of the dances that we do in order to celebrate for Super Bowl and Super Bash, which are 2 events that are going on this weekend.
We came here last year for a game, and it was just so much fun to see a new whole set of people just get interested in our sport. Football is our #1 sport, so we just want to spread it to everyone.
I liked it because the cheerleaders are really good at dancing, and they've learned lots of new moves.
I'll be back with the Channel M lunchtime news at 12 noon, and Andy Crane will be here from 5 tonight with all the day's main stories from Greater Manchester. Sport now, though, with Byron and Mike.
Well, it's been a rocky road for Mark Hughes trying to bring Santa Cruz to Eastlands. Any further developments, Mr. Bradley?
Well, it's not a Santa Claus, is it? Well, there could be a Santa Claus in the contract because City have offered Blackburn a final bid of £18.5 million this morning to bring him to the City of Manchester Stadium. Sam Allardyce is already looking at tabling a £10 million bid for Peter Crouch if that goes through. So those two hang in the balance, but Shay Given will sign today for £8.5 million, we believe. And earlier on in the year, we said this could be Arsene Wenger's last season at Arsenal. He's just been told by the board if they don't qualify for the Champions League, the club face financial Armageddon. So I think it's going to be a case of OBE for Arsenal out before Easter.
Really? Do you think so?
I hope so.
Clock's ticking. There has been speculation about it, but we are like a couple of nanas over the garden fence. We love a good gossip. Anything else happening on the back pages?
Manchester City are going to make one last bid for Arsenal defender Paulo Torre. They've knocked on the door once. They've been sent away packing. This time they're going back with money plus Mika Richards, believe it or not. So he could be on his way down to London. That's quite interesting. And they're after Chelsea defender Alex. They've been told they can't have him. And Inter Milan's Marco Materazzi. So once again, everybody in the world of football linked with Man City. But Shay Given will sign today. OK, so from the pitch to the crease, and all this week we've been speaking about Andrew Flintoff's road to recovery. He seems to be on track, but we're missing him at the moment. We do miss him at the moment. It's day 2 at the minute in St Kitts. The England guys are playing the West Indies A team. Let's have a quick look at how they're doing. The first innings is closed at 3-4-3 for 2, so England well up against it. West Indies did the right thing, won the toss and elected to bat, put England in the field all day. Anderson's returned 1 for 67. Lendl Simmons 171 not out. So already the tour looks like being dubbed the tour from hell, I'm afraid.
Oh dear. Well, from bad news to good news, back page of the Manchester Evening News this morning, Ricky's legacy. And as we can see, the world champion with perhaps the best amateur boxer in the land, Joe Murray, who's just turned pro. Yeah,
he got a bronze at the World Championships 18 months ago. He's turned pro with Team Hatton. He's going to debut in Altrincham on March the 28th. That's going to be on the undercard of Matthew Hatton's IBF World Title Eliminator. We sat down with young Joe yesterday and asked him to explain his decision.
Yeah, very pleased. A lot of people have made comments in the past that I'm the most successful amateur in Manchester, and I'd say Hatton's the most successful pro in the game, so I think it's like a match made in heaven. It means everything. It means I can't wait to get out and start my professional debut and get to my brother's level and win British titles and do things like that. So it's the start of everything for Joe Murray, really.
To be perfectly honest, when I actually saw him training in the gym, I was even more surprised at how talented he is. I mean, I don't think anybody has seen the best of Joe Murray yet, and that's saying something with what he's achieved, and now he's gone to the Olympics and stuff like that. But he's a youngster who'll get better and better and mature, and he'll go into, a stronger lad, but he's got an abundance of talent, and I think there's no end to what Joe could achieve. There's no reason why Joe can't be sat in this seat in a few years' time doing this similar interviews, to be honest.
Great news for Joe Murray being in Ricky Hatton's stable, and I think it's great news for boxing that Ricky Hatton is sort of following in the footsteps of Oscar De La Hoya, setting up his own stable and keeping the monopoly at bay, which have been Frank Warren and of the like over the years.
Absolutely, and I think that's the plan as well, working closely with De La Hoya. We could see some cracking fights between his young stable of English boxers and some of the American guys, and if our guys go over there to get experience, you're probably looking at 2 or 3 world champions from the Hatton stable in the next 18 months.
Get in.
Which could be good.
All right, let's finish off with some tasty gossip to keep the people chomping on over the weekend.
Well, it's Rocky Santa Cruz is dominating the headlines on the blue half of town. On the red half of town, the Times reporting this morning Cristiano Ronaldo has signed a long-term agreement with Real Madrid, which will kick in at the end of the season, which will net him £91 million.
Long-term agreement? Right.
91 million. So we'll have more on that on Monday. That's what the Times report this morning.
Thanks, Mr. Bradley. And as he said, more sport on Monday's Breakfast Show. Time now, though, to spend some time in a dark room as we check out Friday at the Flicks.
First up this week is Revolutionary Road, a film which reunites Leonardo DiCaprio and Kate Winslet over a decade after they first wowed audiences together in Titanic. This time around, and under the direction of Kate's husband Sam Mendes, the pair play April and Frank Wheeler, a seemingly perfect all-American couple. With a lovely house, 2 children and a safe and secure lifestyle, it would seem that life for the Wheelers is somewhat peachy. However, they struggle to feel fulfilled with their mundane and somewhat unglamorous lifestyle. So in a plan to rediscover themselves and feel alive again, the family plan to move to Paris. What starts off as an exciting adventure soon turns horribly wrong.
We could be happy here, at least for a little while. It is possible that Parisians aren't the only ones capable of leading interesting lives, April.
So, you've made up your mind?
No. Like I said, it's just an option. That's all.
And supposing you're right. You make all this money, and we have this interesting life here. Won't you still be wasting your life toiling away at a job you find ridiculous?
Maybe we let that be my business, all right?
Your business?
Okay, you know what? It's too hot for this. I'm gonna go get wet.
The only other person who seems to understand the Wheelers' desire to break away from normality is John, a mental health patient played by Michael Shannon, who's just received an Oscar nomination for his role as supporting actor. The film has also received 2 other Oscar nominations, one for art direction and one for best costume. And as films go, this has certainly received a big fat thumbs up from film critics.
John, come have a look.
Ma, how about doing everybody a favor? How about shutting up?
Revolutionary Road is beautifully shot. It tackles some complex and interesting subject matters and has a fantastic performance from the whole cast. It's a film definitely worth checking out. However, a word of advice, if you're feeling a little bit down beforehand, this is probably one film you want to give a wide berth to.
I just kept thinking, this is it, you know? This is the truth.
I felt that way once, too.
When?
The first time you made love to me.
OK, I've got Nick and Nora's Infinite Playlist, allegedly a teen romantic comedy. And it's a story adapted from a novel of the same name, written by 2 writers from New York, about New York, featuring music from bands in New York. And guess what? This film is shot entirely in the Big Apple. Nick is played by Michael Cera and Nora is played by Kat Dennings. Basically, Nick is going out with a girl called Tris, but Tris dumps Nick and throws away the last mix CD he gave her. Nora picks it up, regaling about how good the artwork is and the track listing is. The girls know each other, they go to the same school. But all this regaling falls on deaf ears. The girls end up going to a concert where Nick and his band are playing. Tris is with another fella and Nora ends up chatting to Nick. And they go on a bit of an exciting adventure around the big city. So basically, boy meets girl, girl dumps boy, boy meets you girl. Hilarious.
Sorry. Give me a minute.
What is that?
It's not as ominous as it seems.
Stalled again?
Hi, Tom.
Lady friend.
Yes.
Dev could use your assistance in the van, if you please. Thank you.
In the van?
Yeah, in the van. Large vehicle right there. Yes, thank you. Thank you.
Look, we'll take the drunk mess home. You kids go find Fluffy and text us when you do and we'll meet you there. What could possibly go wrong?
If you touch one hair in her head, I will kill all of you!
Sorry, I'm being carried! Ow! Oh, she'll be okay.